Hey everybody, Marty Sleva here alongside Mitch Dyer.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Sad news.
It's not a good morning.
I know, it is a bad
It's
morning.
Really bad morning.
So Ken Levine posted on the Irrational blog that the studio is now ostensibly shut down.
Yeah.
He'll be taking a team of about 15 folks into Take-Two proper to form their own sort of narrative-driven, smaller team studio.
Yeah.
But that leaves that, about 90% of the staff is now unemployed. So let's walk us through this. Irrational. Where did they come from?
So that's the studio that came out of like the Looking Glass days.
Yeah.
We had the System Shock games, stuff like that. Ken Levine comes out of there,
Yep.
starts the studio. They do this spiritual successor called BioShock that you might have heard of.
And Freedom Force.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they were Freedom Force.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh man, I love that game.
Good games.
They have a good legacy. Like they have so many good games.
Yeah.
They have, Freedom Force, BioShock. They skipped BioShock 2 and then went straight
to
into
Infinite. So that's where all these folks are in Boston.
Yeah.
That's where sort of the big shakeup happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bummer, but I'm trying to be optimistic about it. Like you were mentioning this morning that there were a lot of people that came out of the 2K Marin stuff, like after BioShock 2, that went on to make some incredible stuff. Yeah,
you have the Fulbright Company guys who ended up making Gone Home. You have folks behind Eldrick and The Novelist. This
big,
really
awesome
great
indie games.
Indie pedigree coming out of it. And yeah, it's really awful that a lot of talented folks lost their job. And it was really cool to see that on Twitter, all of these other studios are tweeting out job links.
Yeah.
That's saying like, hey, Sony's hiring,
Everyone's just rallying to say like, we want that talent.
BioWare. Yes,
come work for us.
This is, BioShock Infinite, one of the best games of 2013, and all of that talent is now open.
Yeah, and I'm confident that we'll see a lot of similar things happen. Like maybe some of those guys group up and start their own thing, or they go to another indie studio that wants that kind of talent. Like maybe someone goes to Fulbright.
Yeah. Okay, so what does this mean for, so the last thing Irrational would be working on would be Burial at Sea Episode 2.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean for that? The game has to be finished, right?
It must be done. I mean, those guys are at a bar right now because they're done. They don't have jobs, which is very sad, but that game must be done at this point. It's got to be coming out soon. And then from there, Ken Levine takes his guys. He goes to Take-Two. Maybe he keeps the Irrational name.
Yeah.
Maybe they start something new. I don't know what happens there.
Yeah, there's a ton of, obviously the story just broke, hours ago. There's so much more that's going to come out of this, so many other voices and opinions, what's going to happen to the Irrational name, what this project Ken's working on is. Oh, he also mentioned that it's like digital focus.
Yeah.
So,
no more
again,
discs.
coming off what Cliffy B also said the same thing.
Yeah.
He's sort of done making disc-based games. So it's funny that these two sort of, titans of the last decade or so of gaming have come out and said this in such a short span. I don't know,
Indeed.
it's kind of telling for the future.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting few weeks just to see what happens. What is the ebb and flow of the change right now?
Yep.
It's sad, but it's also kind of interesting,
Absolutely.
One door closes.
Yep. So that's only the tip of the iceberg for all this Irrational news, and for everything else in the game industry. Keep it here on IGN.